Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the ISHR Perspectives podcast, the podcast where we try to bring views from different stakeholders at the International School Hanover region to the table. In this episode, we'll be addressing the primary year program, the PYP. I am your host, I am Nick Hönemann, and today I'm joined by three wonderful guests. Miss Lee, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Nick and ISHR, for inviting me on this podcast. It's a real honor to be able to share my perspective on the PYP and hear from other perspectives as well. My name is Miss Lee. I'm Jenny Lee, and right now I am the PYP coordinator and the curriculum coordinator, as well as the assistant head of primary. But I had the real great honor of being a part of this school for the last 9 years and have seen and been a part of different perspectives as well. I've started as a teaching assistant in grade 1, a classroom teacher, a literacy learning leader, and now as the coordinator and assistant head. So it's really been great to be a part of the school, to watch it grow, as well as be a part of that growth too. So thank you.
Our next guest is Maya. Maya, would you mind introducing yourself quickly?
Well, I'm Maya, and I really like this school. I've been here since kindergarten, and I'm really excited to share my views in this podcast.
And our final guest is Sophie. Sophie, would you mind introducing yourself quickly?
So my name is Sophie. I'm 11 years right now. I'm currently in 6th grade, and I'm really excited to be here.
Great, thank you guys. Now, first, let's start this off. Miss Lee, would you mind explaining to the audience what the primary year program is?
Sure. So the primary years program is the framework that we use at our school to plan our curriculum. And it goes from kindergarten all the way to grade 5. And it is a program that is internationally known. So if you go to a PYP school in China or in Bangkok or in Chile, you'll see this similar PYP, this primary years program. And it's really a framework that allows us as teachers and as schools to put together a curriculum that is really the students at the center of the curriculum. So it's got some main components to it. And so one of those components is that we learn things in school that are globally important and significant. So we have units of inquiry that are around 6 major themes. And these themes are universal. They are timeless. You could study this no matter where you are in the world, no matter what background you have. Themes like how the world works, or who we are, or how we express ourselves, or where we are in place and time. And through these themes, we also look at major topics that are important to learning in the primary years. So, for example, we'll learn about space exploration, we'll learn about government systems, we'll learn about body systems, but really with this idea that we're not just learning these things for facts and just to be able to keep it all in our brains and then spit it all back, but we are learning these things to understand bigger ideas so that we can change and transfer those ideas to new ideas. So as an example, we study in 2nd grade body systems, but one big idea we want students to understand is that systems generally are things where you have multiple parts that are dependent on each other. So through studying body systems, we kind of also understand like how an ecosystem might work, or how a market system might work, or how a computer system might work. So that's a really big component of the PYP, really understanding, learning through knowledge, how to get bigger ideas so that we can understand even more. Because as we know, our world is full of information and it's almost hard to memorize all of the things that are in this world. So the PYP really helps, our aim is to help students to see that you can learn things that you can apply in new concepts and new contexts. And it doesn't mean that you have to memorize everything, but if you can understand big ideas, then that helps you to understand new things too. Another really important thing about the PYP is that we have a strong sense of our values. So we have an IB learner profile that we really strive to uphold, and that's things like the the dispositions, the character traits that we want to be international and to be internationally minded. So things like being open-minded towards others, things like being principled and responsible, or things like being an inquirer and constantly wanting to be curious about things. So that's another huge part of the PYP, as well as really this idea that the PYP is about teaching students skills that they can apply in the rest of their lives in and out of school. So things like how to research or how to communicate with people or how to manage your time and manage your emotions. That's really another big part of the PYP that I feel strongly about, because we really understand that learning doesn't end after the classroom. Learning doesn't end when you walk out of the door of the school, and learning doesn't end when you graduate. Learning is constant and it's a lifelong process. And the PYP really helps us to, as teachers, to help empower students to see that and to give them the skills to continue to learn no matter what their age, no matter where they are, and no matter what they're interested in.
Great. Thanks for that overview. Thank you. So how about you, Maya and Sophie? What is your favorite part about going to an international school?
Well, I would say it's pretty fun meeting all these people from all around the world and learning about different places and having these friends. It's just really interesting. It's like you're kind of traveling all around the world while staying in the same place.
Great. How about you, Sophie?
So one of the best things about ISHR is about getting to know different kinds of people and different communities, and the feeling of sharing your culture and sharing your own feelings is really, really, really good, because in the different schools you're just learning. However, in this one, you learn about, of course, school stuff, and you learn about cultures, about feelings, about a lot of different stuff you would not learn in different schools. Because I think a lot of us have the school. When you think about a school, you think of a place where teachers talking to you and you don't understand everything and you get bored. However, in this one, you've got the feeling of being included, the feeling of belonging, really, of thriving. That's something I really like.
So, how about this? Do you want to tell me what makes your day at ISHR so special? Like, what is it that when you come into school, what's so important for you?
Okay, I'll start. So what I liked about, for example, in primary, we had subjects that other schools did not have. For example, outdoor learning, even though it's pretty cold in Germany. Library, for example, IT. Those are skills that, life skills that you don't get in different schools. So yeah, that's something that it's really, really cool about going to ISHR, and something that makes up your day.
How about you, Maya? Do you have something to add?
Well, what makes my day at ISHR is really that it's really it's really fun, and you really have to get involved into everything you're learning. You're not just sitting in class listening to a person at the front just blabbering stuff that you don't exactly understand. And the activities are just really, really fun and really exciting. And that's what makes my day at ISHR.
That sounds great. Now, Miss Lee, back to you. Most days I come into school, I see you outside in the morning on the playground, rain or shine. What drives you to do so every day?
I mean, just listening to our students that are here on the podcast, it's almost that's what drives me. It's coming to school knowing every day is going to be a new day, and every day there's something new to learn from our students, from our teachers, from our teams. I think that just being able to be a part of a community where I know that we're each we each care so much about each other that no matter, rain or shine, many rainy days, many cold days, I absolutely love and look forward to just coming here to learn from the students, because I love that we are at the school where we can ask these open-ended questions and that we really want to learn from the students. And I think what makes my day and what makes any day here at ISHR is that you never really know what's going to happen. It's not predictable. And I love that, because every student brings their own background. Every student brings their own ideas. Every student, like Sophie said, they bring themselves to the school. And I absolutely love exploring and inquiring into our students and learning more about them. And just the same with our teachers. I have, in my role now, a really great honor to work with every teacher in primary. And I love that every day I get to just ask questions with them and have conversations, and new ideas come out every day that we didn't know about, that we didn't know we were going to plan, and that we have these conversations about what's going to make our students' lives as memorable and as meaningful as possible. And when those moments happen, it brings me so much joy and energy that every day it's not easy. There's a lot of challenges as well. And I think we all know that about life. but I think that those moments when we really understand why we're here for each other, and we're here to just bring out the best in each other, then it's what makes me really excited to be here every day.
That's great to hear. When I read through the website on the IB about the primary year program, they placed a large emphasis on the self-efficacy of students. Would you mind explaining why this is so important and how you make sure that students develop and practice this skill?
Absolutely. So self-efficacy for us in the primary years means from kindergarten to grade 5, we really help students recognize and develop this understanding that they can do things for themselves, that they can make a difference, that they are a part of learning. And I think listening to Maya and Sophie, I'm so happy that they feel this way too, because it's not that we are here to just learn or teach things and tell you things. We want our students to be a really active part in their learning, because that's what's going to last. And so self-efficacy for us means in a really developmentally appropriate way, just giving students the empowerment to say, this is something you can do on your own. And we'll show you, and we'll teach you skills, but we're going to give you the opportunity to try it out. And you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because that's a part of learning too. And so it looks different from year to year. So in like kindergarten, that might look like having students really be able to access, they know exactly where they can find the pens and the markers and the coloring paper and the materials to build. It's not kept in a closet that the teacher says, okay, you can use it at this time. But we really encourage students to say, hey, how do we use these things responsibly? Let's teach you how to, and then you can do it on your own. Or then later on in primary, it grows. It grows into, okay, what are the questions that you have about this learning? We really trust you to try to come up with questions that are important for you. And how can we help you to find those answers? How can we get you in touch with people, experts? How can we help you research? How can we help you to find those answers on your own? And I think that idea of self-efficacy, meaning that you can do it. So towards the end of primary, we have students that are setting up their own plays. They are setting up their own flea markets. They are designing their own solutions to problems. And it takes guidance and it takes a skill from us as teachers, but it also means that we trust. We trust our students so much because we know it's worthwhile for them to feel and to experience what it's like to actually do things on their own. And I'm thinking, being a part of this podcast is kind of another example of that. The fact that you as students say, hey, I can do this. I can set up my own podcast. I need to learn skills and I need to get the materials and I need to arrange, the interviews and I need to prepare the questions. But because we we honor that you can do it, I think that teaches students so much that that they can be learners on their own, and they don't need to wait until, okay, you tell me what to do. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to let it happen to me. And it's like, no, I'm going to be able to do this because I believe in myself, and I've been given the tools and I've been given the skills from my teachers, and I can try it out. So I love that about it, about the PYP, because you, again, see so many things that come out of it that you think, wow, 10-year-olds can do that? And then you kind of realize, oh my gosh, of course they can. And I think that feeling of pride from both the students and the teachers, and I think families too, is something to be celebrating.
Now, while we're on the topic of doing it yourself, would you mind explaining what the goal of the final exhibition is, or what it is and what its goal is?
Yeah. So every PYP, or primary years school, has as their final year a culminating project, so kind of a final project. And it's called the exhibition. So these are schools around the world do participate in the exhibition, either in 5th grade or in 6th grade, depending on when the PYP ends for that school. So for us, it's in the 5th grade. And the goal for the exhibition is kind of 2 parts. It's one, to give students the opportunity to inquire and study into something that they are passionate about. They choose what kind of issue they want to look into. They choose exactly how they want to gather their information. They choose how they're going to present their information and what they learned. And they also choose how they're going to take action. So it's an opportunity for students to, like Sophie said, bring their whole selves to the curriculum. But it's also, on the other hand, a reflection of their whole learning across the PYP. So the idea that they can research and find information on their own, that they can gather and structure a presentation, and that they can use tools to present. So we'll have students that have made a variety of projects for exhibition, from creating their own cookbooks to making their own films to writing their own songs to making a play. And I think that is, again, just a reflection of how students learn at in the PYP. And it's an ability to celebrate that, but also have students reflect on, like, okay, what skills did I learn over the last years that it's going to help me to make this exhibition successful, and also to think and reflect, what skills have I learned, what IB learner profile attributes am I using, and to develop those skills. So we have students that go out and interview people on their own, or they make those calls to the volunteer center to try to schedule an appointment. So it's an opportunity, but it's also a type of celebration for the PYP.
So, Maya, you haven't done the exhibition yet, but Sophie, you have. So would you mind explaining what your exhibition was and what your favorite part of the process was?
So the first part was I'm going to explain what my exhibition was. My exhibition was about writing a biography about someone I'm passionate about, and it was many people, I don't think anyone knows her, but it's Jane Cadwaller. She found an organization in Uganda to help kids study and to help kids, to really educate them. And, in school, they also have, orphanage, and it's really, really nice. So what passioned me about was that so many people are doing an incredible job, but still don't get the credit for it, and still continuing with doing that job is something that I feel so passionate about, and that was what my exhibition was about. So at the start I thought of what was a problem, what is the issue that I want to cover. So it was kids not getting education. So then I did a research, and then I found out about Jane Cadwaller, and then I decided to write a book about her. So yeah, that was practically my exhibition. And my favorite part was really the doing it yourself. So my teachers did not give me any ideas. They really just let me go and try it out myself, and that was something I really liked. Yeah.
And Maya, you haven't done the exhibition yet, but you have done the passion project. Would you mind explaining to the audience what that is?
Yeah. So, funnily enough, my passion project was about kids who are not able to go to school, like very similar to Sophie's, and in there, I I found it really fun, like being able to read articles and research, and I really loved making the presentation. I also found some really cool, interesting things about like some ways that kids get to school, like for example, zip lining across a canyon. That one I found my favorite, and I really liked that I was able to choose what I was doing, and that I was able to know where to find all the information and research everything well. And I am really like proud of the passion project that I did, and I hope I can do something like that again for my exhibition.
All right. Now that sounds great. Now, for both of you, what is one thing that you would have wished that was different during the PYP?
So I came in 5th grade, so I did not see too much about the PYP. However, something I would have changed is maybe that's a hard question. Let me think. I would guess maybe making it easier for like they make an incredible job with the AIL. However, what I missed, because when I came, my English was not good, like not good at all. So when I started doing when I went to AIL, I learned so much. It's like incredible what I learned in like 1 year. However, I would have had 1 or 2 more advisory lessons, EIL lessons, because those were like I really knew that I was like progressing and growing. And another thing I would like to have is like in secondary right now we've got advisory, which is something I like because it's like a time to like first of all reflect, to prepare yourself for the day, to study. Like also we go to the library, read books and stuff, and that's something I would like to have in primary, because like I missed like having time to like not for myself but like preparing myself for the school day. That is something that I like missed. Yeah.
Maya, how about you? Do you have anything to add?
Well, I really like this school, and I don't really find anything that I would have to change about it, but if I had to, I would probably have more time to go to the library. Like in some classes, we would go to the library only once every 2 weeks, and you were only allowed to borrow like 2 or 3 books. And I would think that it would have been nicer if we could have like if we could read more books, and if we could take more books home, and if we had like more library lessons, because I find library really fun. It's also a time to relax and read. So I would say one thing that I would like to have changed in the PYP was probably have more time to go to the library and read. More time and more books that we can take out. So that's what I would like to change about the PYP.
Okay.
If I had to change anything.
Great. Now, before we come to an end, Miss Lee, is there any question that you would have hoped I'd ask today, but I haven't yet?
That is a fantastic question. I don't know. I think that you've really gotten to the heart and gotten us to reflect on such important aspects of the school. I think I mean, I just want to give a shout out to our teachers and in the PYP because I think that they are doing a fantastic job. We all work really hard together to make learning experiences for our students, and I think that it's moments like this when you get to hear from students that we feel really proud because our teachers in the PYP are constantly thinking about our students, are constantly working together and talking together and planning and having meetings. And it's all because we want our students to walk away from the experience in the primary years with not exactly because everybody's different, but hopefully that similar idea that Maya and Sophie have shared, this idea that you belong here, that you have ideas and feelings and emotions and thoughts that are very important, and that you can bring that to school, and that this is a place where we can grow those ideas alongside a curriculum that is important for you to know just as kindergartners through 5th grade. So I think maybe I would just be really thankful for the team that we have here at ISHR. And we know that we are constantly growing, that we're constantly finding new ways to make learning even more exciting and even more meaningful. But I think that, I want to make sure that I say a big thank you to the team that we work with in the PYP.
Good. Now, finally, as a tip to the audience, what is your favorite thing to do or place to go in Hanover? Sophie, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So what I love is spending time outside. Sometimes it doesn't work because of the weather, but I love spending time outside. And one thing that a lot of places don't have is like a big forest. So I really like the Eilenriede, even though it's a bit it's cold. But I really like spending time outside, and that's something, especially as a kid, I also enjoyed going out and
Maya, how about you?
Well, I would say my favorite place would probably be an ice cream shop, and also which has the ice cream shop has really exotic flavors like carrot, kiwi, mango, or something. And in that place, there's also flea market, and there's these sculptures like those nanas, I think you would call them, and me and my sister really love playing there. It's also where there's the Leinewelle, and the surfers are riding on this wave, and it's pretty cool, and I just love being there. It's really nice, and I love the feel of it.
Yeah, Miss Lee, how about you?
Similar to what both of you guys have said, being outside is such a nice thing in Hanover. So for me, it's always been the Lindener Marktplatz, or the Lindener Marketplace. And on every Saturday, they have in the morning to the afternoon a huge farmers market, which is such a great opportunity to just try new foods and eat cake and cheese and breads and buy flowers. And it's just a really lively place that I think brings people together and is also especially nice when it's sunny.
Thank you for that. I hope this was as interesting to you as it was for me, and I hope you tune in next time. Thank you all for listening, and see you soon. Bye!